a good time. Let us all rise and begin Casco Township meeting for February 10th, 2026. Begin with a pledge by the United States of America.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you everybody for showing up. Okay, the first thing on the consent agenda, I have two additions. Under old business B, a zoning administrator, code enforcement official pay, wage, and work schedule. And under new business P would be Trio Outdoor Maintenance LLC, invoice number 209890.
I have some additions too. Under payment of bills, I need to add the check numbers. So it's check number 33164 to 33195. Direct deposit 1020A to DD1040A. EFT 139 to EFT 141. Comcast bill for 41035. Another Comcast bill for 30638. Toshiba invoice for 15119 and Sumco invoice for 51217. And then I also, I would like to take item M off. I don't think that needs to be an action item. Excuse me. I don't think we're going to vote on it, so I think it's just an FYI.
Okay.
And then I'd also like to add two items. Since we're taking M away, we'll just move everything up.
Okay.
So then the fire run 25-050 will be M, the township sign will be N, and your Trio invoice can be O. And I'd like to add in item P, I'd like to ask approval for the Easter egg hunt that we would like to do this year. And then I would also like to add another item Q. I think we need to discuss the data center, the stuff that's going on in the area.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Okay. Any other additions? Or, okay. If there's no other questions, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda with the additions?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the additions of
Just say SD.
SD
And plus the motivation.
and the litigation.
Okay, any comment? Okay, roll call vote?
Can we get a second?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Danwell,
I'm sorry. Okay, roll call vote?
Anderson, yes.
Dan, yes.
Kaczynski, yes.
Stover, no.
Okay, Stevens, yes. Motion carries. Okay, citizens' comment. We have a thing here reserved for anyone who would like to speak before the board. We also have another one at the end of new business. Okay, sir.
Good evening, I'm Eric Zarnick, live in Casco. On January 28th, my wife and I were horrified by the news that Pine Tree Acres is planning yet again to expand its massive footprint near the County Line Road so that it can increase its disposal capacity for an additional 25 years. For the past 2 years, we have made Casco our home and have often enjoyed the quiet farm experience. But when the wind shifts eastward, the foul and toxic hydrogen sulfide odors coming from the dump have frequently marred our ability to enjoy our property. After many complaints, Eagle confirmed our experience in 2025 and cited PTA for odors. But the odors have since somewhat abated over the past few months. They threaten to get much worse should the proposed expansion take place. But we understand that Casco is in St. Clair County and not Macomb. We homeowners, farms, orchards, and businesses who live near County Line suffer from the dump's ill effects and don't benefit a bit. Allowing the dump to continue to grow and wreck our community's health and environment is the last thing that should happen. We worry about the long-term safety of our air quality and groundwater and the effect on property values. Should this expansion proceed, it's likely to cause a decrease in the revenue for Casco, especially if it causes residents to leave. In addition, we're fearful of the effect of a possible rumored data center in Lennox Township would have our access to clean groundwater or groundwater at all. So far, Lennox has only reportedly imposed a brief moratorium on data centers. Data centers require an enormous amount of water to operate, and should this rumor one require groundwater, it could jeopardize our ability to cook, do laundry, bathe, etc., since we only have access to well water, not municipal. We ask you to advocate on the residents' behalf, organize local communities, and loudly oppose PTA's potential expansion, as well as any rumored data center. And that if both these come into effect, maybe consider doing additional water infrastructure municipally in the area around County Line Road. Thank you.
Does anybody else would like to talk?
We'll take it back off my message. Kelly Sargent, thank you for adding the item about the data center. We're concerned. We moved to Casco a few years ago. We really hoped for a quiet life in the countryside, to enjoy our lands, expand our livestock, be in nature. But we were also surrounded by a dump. And Pine Tree Acres quickly added a smell to our quiet lives. While we love the home, we love our small town atmosphere, the smell's a frequent visitor that we did not invite. We've been communicating with state regulators, talking to Eagle to ensure that Pine Tree Acres get managed. Last month, we found out they wanted to expand it in $75 million to the dump's capacity. It's about 25 years longer than they originally planned for the dump to exist. And we're concerned if it's not managed well now, how is it going to be if it keeps expanding? You take away the trees where the county line that serve as a windbreak, you add more snow. If our land gets polluted, our home values drop, our property taxes change. We know Pine Tree Acres isn't in Casco, so we know it's not directly in your authority. But if they're being a bad neighbor to us, and they're phrasing this expansion as a community decision, because that's what it's getting put on online and on the news sites, they're saying it's a community decision and they're going to listen to the community. We're part of that community too, because we're right next door. So we know you can't vote on anything that happens in Macomb County, but we ask that you consider speaking and letting them know that this expansion doesn't help us. It changes our way of life. Same thing with the data center. You know, we've heard that there's talks of it. We know it's not confirmed, but that's an additional risk to our life. More traffic, more groundwater pollution. So we ask you to help us keep Casco clean and rural is a safe place to live.
Okay, anybody else would like to talk? Okay.
Excuse me. Might I ask for a copy of your presentation, please? Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, under old business, zoning administrator, code enforcement official. When we approved the job description last month, it was inadvertently left off the one part assigned street addresses. We need to add that to the job description.
That's the only thing you changed in this?
Yeah, the only thing, assigned street addresses. So I guess I'd like a motion to approve this one in addition to the job description here for the zoning administrator code enforcement.
So moved.
Okay, we have support.
I'll second.
We have motion support to add assigned street addresses to the zoning administrator code enforcement job description. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Okay, next one, I'd like to propose the following wage and work schedule be adopted for the zoning administrator code enforcement. A wage of $25 an hour and a work schedule on site for 6 hours on Monday to accomplish all office and field work. Be available by phone during business hours to respond to any inquiries involving zoning or code enforcement issues. The township will provide a phone why I put Monday, our assessor is here, and part of the zoning administrator's job, we'll be working with the assessor on lot splits or combinations.
Did you do any research with other communities around here as
Yeah.
far as the per hour?
Yeah, it's about the same.
Who did you contact?
Birchville Township or Gratiot Township. A lot of them do code this job. Them are the two communities that does the closest to this job. A lot of them do it very differently.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not, yeah, so.
So there's two things on here. I know we discussed it earlier about saying 6 hours.
Mhm.
If they don't have anything to work on, then they shouldn't be here.
Right,
So I wouldn't say that they have to be here 6 hours. If there's stuff for them to do, yeah.
yeah, I agree.
But I don't think we should just pay someone to sit at their desk and
Yeah, no, I
just to
agree.
be here. So, and then we talked about it, and I told you if you add a phone in, you need to adjust the budget for that.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, and the biggest thing is we're gonna need them, the biggest thing is for them to measure setbacks. That's the thing, especially we don't wanna hold up any building applications for that. And two, when there's stuff like land combination, lot splits, land combos, that we took into care of readily. Of course, code enforcement issues, that be done as well.
Is this a trooper, one person doing both positions?
Yes, one person doing both positions.
Who is that one person? The last time I was here, you had none.
What's that?
Who is that one?
No,
We don't have anybody yet.
yeah,
Okay, because the last time I didn't know anybody. And getting back to your Mondays, how many out of your 14 holidays do people enjoy? You know, if he's gonna be in on Monday, if it's a holiday, how are you gonna offset that to Tuesday or?
we'll work something out, Jim.
Huh?
If there's a Monday holiday, we'll work that out.
They're
okay?
mostly, all your Mondays are your holidays when they fall with the court vacation, right? So don't look at me like I'm a dummy.
Yeah. You're right, Jim, most of the federal holidays are on Mondays.
No, it's a good point.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
That was a good point.
I'm sure we'll work something out, you know.
Yeah, well, anyway, while I'm here, I'm asking a question. I got that right.
Okay. Any other comments or questions, or?
So are you gonna put this in the paper?
Yeah, we'll put a website for that, yeah. So.
And when are you gonna do that? Like ASAP?
Yeah. So, okay. Can I get a motion or? Any kind of commentary?
We just need a motion to approve this as the job description.
No, it's for the wage, yeah. Mhm.
I think there's some ambivalence about the 6 hours, about the Mondays and other things.
So,
Why can it be?
well, no, it seemed like.
I'm not making a motion on this.
Okay. Do you want me to revisit this and do some more research for it?
You're looking at me?
Well, I'm looking at the board numbers here, yeah, so.
So how else would it be worded if it's not 6 hours on a Monday?
Well, I guess the code enforcement would like them to at least appear on Mondays to work with the,
Yeah, the issue on Mondays is that's when the assessor's here.
right.
Right.
And so that's why we're doing this, because the assessor really needs someone who is capable of handling land splits, which is not the case now. And it's an important issue.
Is the code enforcement per complaint?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
right.
5 complaints.
Yeah,
So you want the zoning administrator here 6 hours, 1 day a week? Or 3, did he say 3 days a week?
One day.
no, just 1 day a week. Yeah. So,
I don't know how many
I could,
federal holidays.
well, it seems like there's a lot of questions. Let me
If
work
Monday's a
on,
holiday, then they work Tuesday. No.
Well, the assessor doesn't do that,
Mhm.
because
Oh,
the
no.
assessor works at other townships.
Oh,
5
that's
days a week.
right.
We only have her on Mondays.
Yeah.
It's a holiday.
how about this? How about I look into this more and get some
See how
better
many
examples?
holidays there actually are. I mean, there might be one or
Okay,
two.
Because you can still start your search
Yeah.
before
Yeah,
you have that.
absolutely.
Yeah, because if
Okay,
there's only a couple.
Because I know we've been.
and then I'll come
talking
up
about
with
this
some
for
wording.
months.
Okay.
So we're postponing
Yeah, postpone this.
until next month.
Okay. All right, new business A, Katie McCall work schedule request. Katie, you like to?
Well, you guys all got the letter. Basically, it's kind of changed my circumstances. I was obviously fully intending to come back in the beginning of March, but I don't know if you guys have seen the cost of childcare these days.
No.
It's ridiculous. If I came back full time, it wouldn't even cover how much daycare costs for one child. So I can't come back full time like I intended, but I'd like to keep kind of doing what we're doing, because it does still help out the building department, compared to me just, resigning, I guess. Because I do enjoy working for the township and I'd like to help out as much as I can. So, and it's up to you guys if you have any questions for me.
Katie, is it possible to cover for Brenda when she goes on vacation?
I can try. See, the problem is, at least right now, my baby doesn't take a bottle, so I can't be gone for 6.5
I
hours.
see.
But if I can do chunks, like if I can come in that week, I can do 4 hours this day, from 9 to 12.
Well, maybe we could put that like on the
Right,
website, Facebook,
exactly.
building department
Sure.
has these hours
Yeah.
from this date to this date. If you need anything, please call or come in during this
And
time.
I'm always available at home, so if someone comes in and I'm not here, they can contact me at home. And I can do as much as I can from at home. I can do pretty much everything we can do here. It's obviously just physical paperwork I can't do at home.
She can print, send it to our printer in the office, and then I basically,
Yeah, that's,
it's working. It's working.
So that's what you're doing now?
Yeah. And the option is if there is paperwork that I need to get done, I can't come in during the week, I can always come in on a Friday.
Can you continue to work out a schedule with Brenda as you have in the past?
Yeah.
Throughout your pregnancy, and
Yeah, it's worked out.
why don't we just do that? I move that we allow Brenda and Katie to work out a situation that works for both of them, because we value you a lot.
Support.
okay, we have a motion support to allow Katie McCall to work currently is the current schedule. Okay.
No, I didn't make that motion. I said, I move that we allow Katie and Brenda to work out a schedule that works the best for both of them, as we have done in the past, and for more or less hours, and have Katie work at home when it works. It's just up to her and Brenda.
Okay.
It's worked before, it's worked for a long time, and I think we should just continue in that respect.
We have support?
Colleen, support.
I already support.
Okay.
And know that my quiet office in the back is conducive to babysitting.
Be a visitor. Good. I'll work.
She's one of the brightest faces in the office always.
That's awesome.
All right.
Not references.
All right, we had the motion support, roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Dan, yes.
Kazinsky, yes.
Stover, yes.
Stevens, yes. All right. Next one is an appointment to the Casco Township Plan Commission. I'd like to appoint Louis Sacco to Casco Township Plan Commission for a 3-year term, or starting February 11, 2026 and ending December 31st, 2028. We haven't had the voice of the farmer on the planning commission for a very long time. Last one was Bill Rudknapp and Malcolm Simons.
I move to appoint Louis Sacco to the Township Planning Commission for a 3-year term, February 2026 to December 2028.
Okay. All in favor?
Do we get support?
Oh, do we have support?
I'll support.
Okay, we have support. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Very good. Okay, next one is Resolution 2026-07, Property Exemptions and Guidelines. We haven't had this for a couple of years. Shelley explained to me there's been some changes, so it has to be approved. These are guidelines for people who are wishing to claim a property exemption when you come up before a board of review there to get some relief from property taxes. Did everybody read this over?
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm going to need a motion to adopt resolution number 2026-07.
I so moved.
I'll support.
You have a motion support to adopt resolution 2026-07. Do you have to do a roll call vote on
I don't know.
what's that?
I don't know. Did it?
We didn't pay anything.
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, you can just in case it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Okay. Roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Dan, yes.
Kazinsky, yes.
So, yes.
Stevens, yes. The motion carries. Okay. Next one's Casco Township Principles of Governance. We did this about 5 years ago, and it was highly recommended that the Michigan Township Association is again encouraging every township board to deliberate and adopt on the enclosed principles of government. MTA members throughout the state have enthusiastically embraced these principles as their own code of conduct, and the MTA Board of Directors urging you to reaffirm or adopt the first time these principles of government of official policy of your township board. The objective in promulgating the principles of government for our members is straightforward. Township boards can be much more efficient and effective when there's a high degree of trust among board members and in between the board and those who are elected to serve.
Shall I don't think you need to read the whole thing.
Okay.
Didn't we do this before?
Yeah, about 5 years ago.
Then why do we need to do it again? It's the same board members.
No, it's different. Last time we did, Patty was here. And
Oh, well, you have to affirm this, so.
okay. All right. So I need a motion to adopt this.
I make a motion to adopt this.
Okay. Casco Township Principles of Governance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Support.
We have all support.
Principles of government.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay. Election source invoice number 25-4000.
These are both for the maintenance contracts. When we got the tabulators, we signed an agreement that we would do annual maintenance on them. So both these invoices are for maintenance on the tabulators and the bat machines.
Okay.
So this is something that comes strictly out of our budget?
Okay. The cost of $990. I get a motion to approve to pay this bill.
So moved.
Okay, we have motion. Okay, any support?
Support.
A motion support to pay election source invoice 25-4000. Okay, for $990. Roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Dan, yes.
Kazinsky, yes.
Stover, yes.
Stevens, yes. Motion carries. Okay, election and source invoice number 25-4584. This is for $375. This is the ICP.
It's a maintenance. Both of them are both maintenance. One's for the new tabulator and the other one's for the old tabulator.
Okay.
I make a motion to pay the balance due of $375 $375.
I'll
for
support.
Western Source.
We have motion support to approve the invoice of, invoice 254584 for $375. Roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Okay.
So I'll support that. Patty.
This was our
It was a
support.
no-brainer.
Yeah, no, support, we'll go for a roll call vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was drifting there. Yes, I support that.
Kaczynski,
I
yes.
vote yes.
Okay, Stevens, yes. Okay, next one is UPS, United States Postal Service invoice account number 3190195.
So this is for our bulk rate permit, and I was debating whether or not to renew it, but I did some quick calculations today. And for the elections in 2024, so that would be the primary and the general, it would have cost us, if we would have just ran it regular, because it's $1.07 for ballots, it would have cost us $1,084.97, and that's bulk rate. I believe we get nonprofit rate. Actually, sorry, hold on, let me see how I did this. So I didn't add up both of them. Put it this way, if we do bulk rate, it'll save us $1,084.97 between the two. This is using the numbers from 2024. I'm sure there's more for this time. And then the nonprofit would save us $1,400. So it's kind of a no-brainer. If you take what it costs, we're still saving over $500 either way. So, because I was like, is it worth it? But I think in election years, it's worth it. Non-election years, we just don't care.
But we've got election.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion to pay this permit fee. This is a one-year fee?
Yes.
Support.
Okay, my motion support to pay this invoice to the post office. Okay, roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Damon, yes.
Kaczynski, yes.
Stevens, yes. Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, Enviro Mag Services mold remediation. The one, we found out, we had a thing recently where people, we had a party here at the hall, and I found out we had back in the maintenance closet, in the electric closet, some mold issue last summer. Well, in the one closet where we stored the tables and chairs, a table was laid up flat against the wall. When it was removed, okay, there was no air circulation and some mold formed. So, I mean, it's in perfect shape of a table. So I called up Mr. Scheck, who did our work last summer, and he looked down there, and he's gonna give us his minimum rate of $900 to go in there.
So is this, because he did our original remediation,
Yeah.
and then he did the room where the sump pump is.
Yeah.
When he comes, if we approve this, can you have him look through the whole basement
Sure.
and see if there's anything
Yeah.
else instead of like
Absolutely.
having him come back and forth and back and forth?
Does
Because I'm sure.
cover any of this?
I'll check that out. I'll check that out. I'm sure it's
Yeah.
there. He did what we did. I remember he looked in there at the time. I remember.
He moved the tables on?
No, he didn't move the tables.
Well, that's the problem, because then the table was right up against the wall and it was
Yeah.
behind there.
Yeah, I'll have him get there and plus and back by the old kitchen to check out everything
And maybe we should install tables and things like that.
there. Well, I think, against the wall. If the table was turned and the frame was against the wall,
Right, there was be some air
yeah,
circulation.
that would have never happened.
Do we have a dehumidifier down there?
Yes, we did.
Still, it runs all the time?
Yes. We got it.
So,
So are you going to check to see if it's covered by insurance?
yeah, I'll check to see if it's covered. motion on this?
Well, I'll give you a motion to pay his $900 fee with the caveat that we check and see if our insurance covers.
Support.
We have a motion support to accept the proposal from Environmental Services for $900. Okay, roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Dan, yes.
Kazinsky, yes.
Stover, yes.
Stevens, yes. Okay, motion carries. Okay, next one is Casalab Planning invoice number 021.
So the reason I put this on there is we already approved her retainer. So it's not the $550, it's the extra charges.
Yeah,
Because I don't know what happened with your discussion because I wasn't filled in on what your discussion, what it led to. But if I'm looking at this, the zoning ordinance corrections that she fixed, some of them were her fault that she didn't follow through on them. So we're paying her extra to complete the job that she was supposed to do in the first place.
Is it the zoning ordinance that we're concerned about, or is it the administrative civil ordinances that we're?
What she's working on right now is just the zoning ordinance.
well, this is what I talked to her today, and she says that working on the zoning ordinance is covered up to 2 hours a month in her retainer.
That's in her contract.
Yeah,
Where?
right here. Yeah, so. Anything
I'm gonna
additional
tell
is $60
you.
an hour.
I'm gonna tell you that in her Exhibit A, it says zoning ordinances amendments. This is included. Caslog Planning will provide the following professional planning consulting services at a rate of $550 per month at the request of the Casco Township. Zoning ordinances and amendments. It's right in there.
So that's part of the retainer.
So she's contradicting herself right in that.
May I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to say
Well,
that.
sorry, I'm going to speak anyway. There was a meeting that was held, and I was informed very shortly after that meeting took place that there would be something in your packets
Yeah.
that basically was a synopsis.
Yeah, I have,
The only thing
I
is
have-
this bill that I put in
I
there.
haven't yet to get the synopsis out right. So. But,
Well, you guys know how I feel about all this because I think that's part of her job. That's part of what we hired her to do. She worked for Steve. Steve did all this stuff. And if she had any problems whatsoever when we first hired her, that should have been out in the open. Because we counted on her to do her job.
Dan, do you recall what the conversation was about the code of ordinances? That was the question.
Steve's contract was quite different than her contract. And the discussion about the code of ordinances is really not in her lane, you might say. Most of the code of ordinances have to go through the attorney, and she's not a lawyer, she's a planner. So although Steve did a lot of things, he was a noted educator about all of these things in the state for a long time. But she was not. She's a zoning person. So we talked about how we're going to approach this. She's willing to make the changes in the ordinance if they're provided and reviewed by the attorney in advance and keep the ordinance book up.
yeah,
And
she's,
she was willing to do that. But in terms of actually reviewing them for their accuracy and legality, she's not qualified to do that. And we understood that.
Yeah.
Also, she feels the relationship with the township is good. And I understand that Brenda does as well, who works with her directly a lot. She was willing to address the issue of timeliness whenever. I mean, whatever it needs to be, she said she would do that. Because that has been a little bit of an issue. How fast is the turnaround of contact with her? In terms of the other issues we covered, one of them being whether she should be receiving a lot of calls from township citizens directly and giving opinions and relating her, whatever her interpretation of the ordinance is, to township residents. we both, I think Joe and I and her, agree that that's not really something she should be doing regularly. It should go through the township. If a resident has a question, their elected officials or the people that we've hired to do this, like Brenda, should be the first one to take the call and then refer it to her and get back to the person who's calling the township. Hopefully that'll be at one point of contact there, so that who's ever calling in will have a good rapport and answer from the township, but not directly from her necessarily. Sometimes it may be appropriate, but more often than not. That she works for the township, and that should be the interface with our plan.
A lot of the questions that would go through the zoning administrator. That's the position
Yes.
we're going to be hiring for. And she said that, like Dan said, she's willing to continue to update the code of administratively, still do changes to it. But
Just make sure they get in there.
yes.
So why would we pay her extra to do that? When Brenda could do it, I could do it, any one of us could update it. I don't have the language, Brenda doesn't have the language, but if it's just putting it in there, one of us can do it. Why would we pay her extra to do that?
Well, that's beyond the 2 hours there. I mean, if it falls within the 2 hours a month, yeah, we cover her retainer though.
She would be putting it in the book appropriately,
Yeah.
in the zoning law, in the code of ordinances, in the book.
So-
if anything that you've done changes the page adjustment, where the page shifts, she would be handling that to make sure the pages are the proper sequence, I would assume.
I'm sure any one of us can figure that out too.
Yeah. Well, the biggest change we had, we put in the street address ordinance. Myself, Brenda, and Chris Anderson were the ones that worked it out. And Karen put it into the ordinance administrative. So.
Whatever. And then if you look at her addition over here, it says 3 hours and 30 minutes. 2 hours are covered by retainer. So if you take 3 hours and 30 minutes and take 2 hours, that leaves you an hour and a half.
I'll tell you, I mean, I have a kind of a strong opinion about this now. It could change, but I felt that the meeting with her was very successful. And she's credible. She's really trying to do a very good job for us, works well with the township and likes doing it. And she's very reasonable in her costs. I do not think we should be fly-specking everything that she does in this manner, because I think it isn't fair to her, actually. And I think we're lucky to have her. I mean, that's my impression after meeting with her personally for a while, and also hearing her at zoning board meeting at one point in time, with the attorney there as well. So I think we're good. That's just my professional opinion or whatever.
Okay.
The other options for us in terms of planners, we had a very good planner, Richard Aurora, and he was very good. But he became extraordinarily expensive when he joined a very large firm, Giffords. And the other firms that we have options for are very expensive. I mean, it's just like over the top. And I think we're lucky to be able to work with a young planner who's learning, represents a number of similar townships in this area, and is willing to work with us as she has been.
2 years ago, when I researched, Karen was by far the least expensive, and I even reached out to Ronald Royal himself to see if he knew of young planners who had their own, and he didn't have. He said most of them joined bigger firms. So.
I think the point of contact is very important, because I, for one, will never give a township resident Karen's number. And that's been a habit that others have done, and I never give her number free. I take the initial information, I take their number, and Karen will do what she thinks is best, and either tell me, this is what you need to tell them, or she will make that contact directly. So, and the turnaround time, gonna have to be established because the planning commission got a little bucky last month and didn't want to follow the ordinance as far as the time frame for submission for applications for site plan review, special land use review. And they were trying to tell me to turn it around within 2 weeks. And there are many times that since I've been working with Karen, I don't get the information for the planning commission packets until the day before they're being delivered.
Karen said that she needs to know if you need it fast, and she'd like to know if you don't need it so fast, because it would allow her to juggle her work schedule better. And that's all she asked, that she's trying to accommodate any rushes there may be.
And we do work,
Because
we
she wants
do
to
work
know.
that out.
And I asked her, she said, would you like the information a week before the packets go out? And I said, yes, that would be helpful. It would be helpful.
Well, we'll see, we'll see.
So, okay.
By the way, if it doesn't work like it's supposed to, we need to know. And we need to meet with her again on this.
But we have gotten along very well. And,
Okay, we got this invoice here. We need to,
I'll move that we pay
okay, do we have
as
support?
it stands.
Do we have support?
The suspense is killing me.
I'm not supporting that, so
What's that?
I'm not supporting it.
Okay.
I don't agree with it.
Somebody could move, I could withdraw my motion, and somebody could move, we pay part of it that everybody's comfortable with, that would probably work.
Well, we already approved her contract, so the 550 is already done. It's the extra.
The biggest thing is, when you have an issue with it, some of it was her mistakes.
No, I have an issue that we're being charged for stuff that is in her contract that she's supposed to take care of. But I'm only one person, so if you guys want to...
Well, I think her contract, though, is not worded as like it should be.
It's a contract that's been signed, so if it's not worded the way it should have been, then it should have been changed before it was signed.
Where exactly is the problem here? I just didn't get that exactly.
Joe, show them on your copy, I don't know that.
Pardon?
Okay, right here, it says on the, that she would handle changes to the zoning ordinance and the ordinances and amendments here. Like here, on the fee schedule here. Okay, minor requests such as provide language, public notices, and staffing with questions.
She's charging, they're going to charge you, then they cover people that I don't care. Why should I go through all this stress with trying to get all this
So
money?
anything more, you would get charged as regular $60 an hour.
And that's what we're being charged? Where's the rub?
So,
That's why, yeah, that's why I don't see a lot about something.
Right.
It's the same reason.
Yeah.
so are you gonna withdraw your support or?
Nobody supported the motion, it died for lack of support, so
Yeah.
there's no issue there.
I'll talk to her again about this. but-
How much is involved?
It's not going to matter if you talk to her or not. I mean,
Okay, let me,
I see no bad faith in her invoice. I see no bad faith in her work. And so that's why I moved to approve it as it stands.
perhaps she should have been able to address all of you together, all of you. for the apparent questions that have not been satisfactorily answered in your meeting.
Well, my problem is I was given this task, I took over this task of things that didn't get followed through on, right? I have a million other things to do. I took time out, I researched, I did all this stuff. She dropped the ball. I emailed her in the middle of December, and she didn't get back with me until the second week of January. I'm sorry, that's not acceptable to me. I understand she was sick at some point, but she wasn't sick for a whole month, okay? I took time out, I did research, I stayed late, I worked on this stuff. I asked her for help because I didn't know what the wording was supposed to be for these resolutions. Because we need to do the resolutions, we need to pass them again as a board, and we need to get put into the paper. Notice of adoption needs to be done, okay? And I think we all know that because we've been talking about this for the last 2 months, maybe 3 months, I don't know. So, my problem is why am I busting my butt doing this stuff when you guys are good with pay or extra, then that's fine. I won't worry about it then. That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah,
I think it's part of the
We'll just
contract.
give you the bills, and you print them out, and we'll just pay them, whether we agree with them or not. Whether we're under the understanding that she was going to do the job for us that Mr. Samasco did with no interruption and with support from him.
His contract is different than her contract. It
That's
is.
not what I was led to
I would
believe.
not
I was
agree.
led to believe we were not going to have an
I was
interruption
too.
in our service.
I was under the impression that she was going to do everything that Steve did.
With his help
However-
and guidance for a while.
However, the fact that she does not do civil ordinances does not seem unreasonable to me because she's not a lawyer.
This isn't about the civil ordinances, so this is about the code of ordinances that we're talking about right now. It has nothing to do with that.
There were 5, right? That you're catching up on.
I think so.
4 or 5
I
that
think it was
the
5.
breakdown happened basically at Karen's level. For whatever reason.
When did this occur?
It went back to what, 2020?
2020,
21.
21 or 22.
Yeah, 2021 was the first
And
one.
I do know that Jennifer spent hours. She had to go back through publication notices. She had to go back through the
We would have talked to her about that had that been on the agenda. It was not. That was not an issue that was on
Somebody asked me.
the agenda that I was provided for that meeting, so I didn't know.
Well, okay, let me.
It's
It doesn't matter at
this
this
now,
point.
but it
Yeah, it
was.
doesn't matter at this point.
It's just,
We just simply cannot keep piling this stuff on our clerk.
I agree.
We cannot.
Well, this was just a unique thing, we had to catch up on.
Yes, it's
stuff.
unique,
It
but it
wasn't
takes
unique.
hours to get through.
it was not unique. It was a failure of knowledge of what procedures are. And you should very well be able to relate with that, Joe.
And I'm just saying, this is a situation that once we take care of it, we probably won't have,
It shouldn't
This-
happen. If it happens again, there's a problem.
so.
Well, we need to get us the personnel in place to handle this and to be a bridge. And not to put this all on the clerk.
I tried to help her, but it was out of my wheelhouse. That's the word we're looking for.
So,
My wheelhouse is closed. There's no more wheels that can go in there. I mean, I can pay the $550, and if you guys want to talk about the rest, if you want to approve it, whatever. We need to figure it out and move on though. We don't need to be sitting here all night.
Well, we owe the $550.
Yes,
That is for sure.
yes.
So that will be my motion to pay the $550,
Okay.
and you can debate the rest of it.
okay. We have a motion to pay at the $550 of the invoice.
I'll support.
You have a motion support to pay the $550. Okay, roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
I abstain.
Kaczynski, yes.
Stover, yes.
Stevens, no.
So hold on, Dan abstained. And Stevens was no.
Yes.
All right.
that we're slaying old dragons.
It's not an old dragon that's sitting on my desk, not done yet. That's a current dragon for me.
I did not know
So,
that.
and I can hand that over to
No,
Joe.
I approve you.
Because I honestly think it's probably the supervisor's
I
job.
saw what you were doing.
Okay,
I have a question. Why was that not on the agenda that when we had our meeting with her?
about this, I haven't seen this bill yet.
No,
No, the work.
the issue of the work that's on Jennifer's desk that should be on Karen's desk, that is something that should have been addressed when we met with her for over half an hour.
That was one of
Maybe not.
the main reasons that you
Yeah.
guys were having.
That was
the
not
meeting.
on the agenda, so I'm sorry
And the
about that.
synopsis of what
We
you
deserve an
talked about.
apology.
So we would not be having this
Yes,
conversation.
this clerk deserves an apology on that because that should have been on the agenda.
Jennifer, I wrote a bunch of stuff down, I just didn't write that one down.
I thought that was the main reason why you guys were meeting here, was to figure that out. But
I personally think that, in all fairness to Karen, because there's obviously been a total and utter breakdown in what the board wanted conveyed and what was ultimately conveyed, she would have no problem sitting down with all five of you. She would, and then what you need conveyed, you can be confident in the fact that it would be conveyed. You would know with no uncertainty that what you are concerned about is going to be conveyed the way you want it conveyed. Because there's breakdown after breakdown after breakdown. And she would not object. She likes working here. Jennifer, she respects you. She sat with her at the table. Dan, you better.
Yeah,
You
and
feel,
that wasn't
the same, you
reasonable.
feel the same way about
If
the
it had been on the agenda, at first I went into that meeting thinking, why isn't this person doing what her mentor did for us? She gave a good answer. That was the civil ordinances. This issue of what's on Jennifer's desk did not come up. I wish it had. I would have been hot about it,
That
for
was the
sure.
whole point of the meeting.
I know, but it wasn't on the agenda. I mean, I was asked to go and report what happened at the meeting, which is what I'm doing. I wasn't asked
When-
to set the agenda for the
When
meeting.
I
He set
talked,
the agenda for the meeting.
yeah, I talked to Brenda about what some of the issues being Brenda. I didn't have about that. So.
it's water under the bridge.
All right, we have the 2026-2027 preliminary budget. Okay, any questions?
So there's one thing I want to change. When you brought me your numbers, and remember we talked about the drain, contracted drain services?
Yeah.
It's account 101-101-831.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that we need to have $64,000 budgeted for it. I would like to knock it down to like 60. We probably don't even need that.
Sure.
But I need a little leeway room because we are just a little bit short on the total. On the bottom of page 2, we're like negative 85, so I just need to change that a little bit. So I'd like to take
Sure.
it from 64 to 60,000. You're gonna need, if you're gonna get a phone for the zoning administrator, you're gonna need to address that. And if you look at the building department, it's still not balanced. So the way you have it, the numbers that you gave me that I put in there, the expenses that we're expecting is 157,000. And we have 75,000 budgeted for revenues. That's double. So you can't just, there has to be something done about it.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Well, the problem is this is our budget for next year. It needs to be final and available to the residents if they request it, at least, I think it's 8 days before our annual meeting.
Right.
So it has to be finalized. And if there's any changes that need to be made, the whole board needs to see it, so we have to have another special election, or special meeting, sorry. So. But if anybody has any questions about any of the numbers, if you think some of them need to be changed up or down, I don't know if you guys all had a chance to look them over.
Do we need ticket signs? Okay, ticket signs for the building department. We can't seem to get our act together.
They're going to have to make them themselves.
We can use some old cardboard boxes.
Yes, generous as we're going to
Slow
be.
this crayon.
You're creative, Jennifer.
No, I'll bring before the board some things about we have to make some cuts. And I'll bring before the board next month some cuts.
Well, there's always the 2-ply tissue.
Okay. All right, okay. Hunter, what did you need a motion to accept it? Or is this just informational?
Well, we need to have a budget that's approved by the board before, 8 days before the annual meeting. So either you do it now, or we have a special meeting in the coming weeks.
Well,
That's why I was on you about doing this, because it's time sensitive.
well,
We have
that's the
to have it
thing,
done. We can't
I
just keep
did,
pushing it
I
off.
was looking at, we currently pay our electrical, mechanical, plumbing inspectors and building officials stipend. I did an audit of local townships and that nobody gives stipends to build, electrical or mechanical inspector or plumbing inspectors, none of them do. They just get that. And that's, I think, we should cut that out of.
That will help, but
It
that's
seems
not.
that time is of the essence. Could we approve this budget and then change it subsequently so that we meet the timelines and everything gets right in the end? I would move that we do that.
That's fine.
If there's no great harm in that.
That's what you've been doing.
You know, we're not stuck with a budget because we approved it. We can amend it. And I think that's the
That's
way we
fine.
should go. So we can avoid all of these special meetings that happen because
Thank
things
you.
aren't done in a timely fashion.
So I would like to just change that one budget item, the drain, which is
Okay.
101,831, I want to change it to 60,000. And then if you notice on the liquor fund, it's a negative. I did call Wes at King and Messing, whatever it is now. And he said it's fine to leave it as negative because we're spending down the balance that's in our account for liquor fund because it can only be used for liquor fund.
Right.
But I told Colleen this, I think this is the last year that we can pay, because remember we gave the constable a little bit of a raise to get down that amount.
Right.
And he knows, because we told him when we did this raise that that wasn't gonna be it's gonna go away. So I think this is the last year. I think next year we're gonna have to bring it back down to whatever it was before so that we account for the mileage, for the audit, any kind of, But for now, he said it was okay to leave it negative.
All right. And I'm not sure when that check comes through.
Which one?
The liquor, what refund liquor.
I'm gonna remember, I wanna say it's kind of maybe the middle of the year, I think.
I thought maybe sometime. But anyway, I know we were overfunding it. At
Yeah.
the very beginning, we were overfunding it,
Yeah.
so good.
So yeah, if you guys wanna, if someone wants to, we should probably approve it or whatever today. And then we can do
and we'll,
amendments.
so where we can approve it with the $60,000 now
Yep.
in a drain and bring it down. What are we bringing down the liquor to?
No, we're gonna leave the liquor just like
Just
it
leave
is.
it?
Yep, I just wanted to to bring it to your attention that it's
And
accurate.
with those reapportionments, I'll make a motion to pass this budget.
Support.
Okay, we have motion support. Roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
And yes.
Kazinsky, yes.
So, yes.
Stevens, yes. Motion carries. Okay, budget amendments.
All right, if you go back to your handy dandy revenue and expenditure report, I color coded it for you. So we just have a few here. The first one, we're taking money out of elections, 101, 101, 706. I'm going to take $3,863.77 out of there. And it is going to go into supplies, 101, 101, 752. We're putting in 805.55. In public utilities, account 101-265-920, we're putting in $121.89. And then in maintenance and repair, account number 101-265-930, we're putting in $2,936.33. Those three total the $3,863.77. The next set, I'm taking money out of conferences and workshops, account number 101-101-864. I'm taking $2,119.72 out of there, and it is going to go into the following account numbers: 101, 101, 710, Zoning Board of Appeals, we're putting $50 in. Tax roll and statement prep, 101, 101, 833, I'm putting $1,988.19. And then in miscellaneous, 101, 101, 956, I am putting in $81.53. Those three total the $2,119.72. The next set, I am taking money out of the deputy clerk account, 101-215-704, in the amount of $1,217.33. And I am adding it into maintenance and repair, account number 101-101-930, in the amount of $1,217.33. The last set, I am taking money out of building secretary account 101-371-707 in the amount of $919.78, and it's going in the following accounts: zoning enforcement wages 101-371-713 in the amount of $251. Zoning administrator account 101-371-825 in the amount of $120. Transportation 101-371-870 in the amount of $344.48. And the final one, conference and workshops, account number 101-371-864 in the amount of $204.30. Those all add up to $919.78. Any questions?
No.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion to accept the budget amendments as presented.
I'll support.
And a motion to accept and a motion to approve the budget amendments. Roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
And yes.
Kazinsky, yes.
Stevens, yes. Motion carries. Next one is the Council on Aging serving St. Clair County. They're asking us for a donation. And then we get this letter every year, and every year we turn them down because they have a millage.
Oh.
So,
You will do the same.
yeah, I recommend we do the same.
So no action needs to be taken.
So it doesn't need to be.
Okay. Next one is Fire Run 25-050 dispute charges.
So the young lady that got into the accident said she would like to write a letter to the board, which was included in your packet, explaining her circumstances. I said I would present it to the board, but that didn't guarantee one way or the other. So I did my job putting it on the agenda.
I think she wrote a very nice letter.
I do too.
I'll move to waive the $100 charge.
I'll support that.
We have a motion support to waive the $100 charge for fire run 25-050. Okay, roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Yeah, Dan, yes.
Kazinsky, yes.
Stover, yes.
Stevens, yes. Motion carries.
I'm sure she will appreciate that.
Okay, there was cost here about estimated costs on how much it would, potential court cost. If the up near is $10,000 if we sign up, if we ended up taking sign fabricators to circuit court.
How much does the sign cost?
Like 30,000?
Yeah.
So if we would take them to court and we won, can we include the court fees in our amount that we
want
want?
that part of the motion, I'm not sure.
You
I
can
mean-
ask for it.
Doesn't mean we don't know if we would win or not, but
Right.
I mean, we bought the sign from these people, they've been no help whatsoever, brushing it off on their contractor or whatever. We didn't pay the contractor, we paid them. They should be the ones responsible for it, and they're not taking any responsibility. And right now, our sign doesn't work the way it's supposed to. There's pixels that are dead, or whatever they're called. I don't know, the time, I don't know if the time was ever fixed.
It's just a buffer of things.
Yeah, it's like we were in a different time zone because we couldn't get it to work for our time zone, and it just a lot of stuff.
Well,
The brightness is still super bright.
Yeah, the one Phillips there, they looked at it and they said the sign, they don't even make it anymore.
So basically, they sold us an outdated
How much would it
sign,
cost just to get another sign that really works?
probably another
Do
$20,000
we know?
or $30,000.
Do we really need a sign like that, though?
Yeah.
No, but it's a shame that we spent that much money. I mean, it was
Yeah.
ARPA money, so,
Do we know how much
but
it
still,
costs to get
but
another
you
sign?
could have used it for something else.
Yeah.
Good
That
money.
would be, I
Good money on your back.
would be at least $220.
Joe said that it's obsolete.
Well, but all we've got is by Phillips Sign
I
Company.
don't know.
Can they make the sign work with their equipment?
I
Get
could,
rid of what's,
I could ask that question.
what
They would
is,
get rid of the panels
right.
in the motherboard and obviously keep the outside shell that says Casco.
I could ask the question. That's actually a good point.
I mean, if it costs $10,000, I mean, if we'd spend $10,000 and
Maybe they could do it for 10,000. You know, if they keep the sign we had and just put new guts in it.
it's an
And I'll
option.
ask again,
They're-
should any of this be covered by our insurance?
I don't think that can because I think it was just defective. I don't think it was any kind of,
Unless the sign gets
Isn't
broken.
that kind of what we
Yes,
have
insurance wraps and defects.
maybe someone will drive by and a big rock will go by. Any volunteers? We won't see nothing.
I had a little different view about this sign business all along. My view is that it's very important for the township to have a functional sign that's not too bright for the traffic and that represents the township in a positive way. Why this has gone on this long and we have not just gotten a good sign, which to me is the priority, no matter what it costs. It doesn't cost too much for the township to have a good sign out there. And this has gone on forever and ever and wasted so much time from all
Well,
parties concerned. We
that's
just
just-
need a sign out there. It's gonna use a bad word, but I won't.
It
And-
was
and I
free
don't know
money,
why
but
we
we could
just
use
don't
it
get
for
to
something
see
else.
that.
Yes, it was. It was free money. That's why we have the sign. If we put something into it now, it's our money.
Right.
That's why we have the sign to begin with. We wouldn't have the sign
No.
if it were our money. Somebody would be standing out there, Brenda, on her lunch hour with
With
the
her
sign
picket
that said it's
sign.
Yeah, that's what Katie and Brenda said, let me investigate that may be an option.
Okay.
To me, one should cut to the chase, get rid of this issue, get a sign that really works and looks nice, and be done with it. It's wasted so much time in this stuff.
Okay. All right, next one is Trio Outdoor Maintenance
I'm
LLC.
sorry, what did we decide to do on this?
No, I'm gonna look at, I'm gonna do some research onto what Brenda and Katie had mentioned about how much it would be using the existing cabinet, a whole new
Like
inside.
a new motherboard or
Yeah.
whatever it's called.
Yeah, Yeah.
We're going to get a new thing done in that shell.
But, okay. Next one is Trio Outdoor Maintenance LLC invoice 209890. It's been a hard winter and lots of salt has been applied.
This is the second invoice. Remember last month we had another
Yes.
$36 or $3,900 invoice from them.
But they have been working with us on cutting back on the salt on a number of the occasions. You can see that where they only did a half an application of salt. You know? Mike?
We owe them this money, is that, then I make a motion to pay the bill.
Do we have support?
I'll support.
We have motion and support to pay Trio Outdoor Maintenance invoice 209890 for $1,689.33. Roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Yes.
Kuzinski, yes.
Stover, yes.
Stevens, yes. Motion carries.
And I also make a point to thank, again, Steve Zinkis for
Yes.
plowing us out in our parking lot.
Oh,
Okay,
Yes, that was very nice of him.
yes it was. Okay, P Easter egg hunt.
So, Miss Barb and I have a tentative date, if the board would be so inclined to approve us to do another Easter egg hunt. We were talking about March 17th. I think.
Pardon?
Oh my God, it's St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, dear.
Those eggs had better be green.
Well, there is some, no, we can't do it on St. Patrick's Day.
well, that's a Tuesday.
St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah.
Why do I have 317? I thought that was a Saturday. Okay, wait, maybe I was on the wrong.
Next year.
Maybe I was on 2027 when we were looking at.
The 14th is Saturday.
I just wrote it down wrong. Yes, March 14th. That was what it was. Okay, do we have reprieve now? But it's going to be before St. Patrick's Day. Is that okay?
That's quite all
Okay.
right. What is Easter this year?
April 5th.
Yeah.
But we can't do it closer to because we have stuff going on those weekends. So
Well, that's
the volunteers are available on 314, so that's one.
14. That's nice.
So if the board would be so inclined to approve us for that, that would be fantastic. I think everybody had a great time last year.
Did it snow last year?
No, it was beautiful.
It was nice. It was entertaining. Yeah, you never know.
I make a motion to approve the Easter egg hunt for Saturday, March 14th.
And I approve for Gina's helping you.
Do we have support?
And you hide these eggs outside, do you?
No, we hide them in here, in the offices and everything, so.
It was all through here, and then we did
The
the
hallway,
We
bathroom.
closed like everybody, we did my office because I didn't care, but we closed like your office and Shelley's, but we did it down the alley,
Down the
put it in
hall,
the,
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
it
I
was.
support, you need to
You have a
support.
time?
The
Yeah.
kids loved it.
All right, we have support, we have a motion support to have the Easter egg hunt on March 14th.
Yes.
Okay. All in
Oh,
favor?
we're gonna do it 11:30 to 2,
Okay.
but I'll make it clear.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, next one is data center. It was about a year ago, we got a call about somebody was inquiring about if we'd be willing to rezone land for a data center.
Oh, yeah, right. I believe you,
Yeah.
but we're not getting it.
No, I said no. I mean, we just got done with our master plan. And no, it's gonna be,
He told me.
but I did ask Karen to start looking into that, into data center.
Yeah.
Started.
I have been.
We need to do it like sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
It's time to square that.
This is a big issue.
Yes, yes.
I just proposed land on the bottom of the data center. I guess surrounding
At the
areas-
Romeo.
Yeah, surrounding areas have put in memorandums about it. It's a lot of fun, 12 months, I believe.
Not
Let's put in
really.
a 4-month memorandum. I
Yeah.
don't know why.
Yeah.
So I
I
was
read that
really
sheet.
I was reading too that this,
12 months.
There's a
No, but I want to be.
people that are, I think it's
something like that.
Congress or
something.
Senate state ones that are trying to do a bill to do like a statewide moratorium, like for a year or whatever.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I think we need to do something just to cover ourselves.
There's, at the recent supervisors meeting, I was talking with the supervisor of Greenwood Township. Now that's in northern St. Clair County. Now, they have an Edison plant right in the middle of it. The northern boundary of Greenwood Township is that massive water main that comes from off of Lakeport.
That's why they want it.
That's what it is. Right now, I know they're looking for close to municipal water.
Well, we don't have any, so they should still be.
The one thing, what they're looking at in Lennox Township and
Yes.
in Washington Township, because Washington Township, that big water main that I just told you about goes right through it.
Yeah.
Down Van
Yeah, they're
Dyke.
liking that.
That's where the thing is. But yeah, I agree. I mean, I told Karen to start
Sooner
looking.
rather than later, like, we'll try to get something for us for next month.
Yeah, so, yeah, they're not going around with this AI and that. They need a lot of computing power.
Yeah.
Okay. We're up to a second citizen's comment.
Yeah, I got one. Where do we stand with the drain commission on starting phase 2 of the Casco drain? They come up to the west side of the expressway.
Yeah, I don't, Jim, I don't know that. If I would call the drain office, drain commission, they'll tell you on that, okay?
They had phases, I understand.
Yeah, that's how they usually work,
Yeah.
yeah, so, anyone else?
If I may.
Yeah.
I would just like to say thank you to the board for allowing Katie to work with her schedule. For those of you who don't know, I'm her father, and I'm unbelievably proud of this young lady. Not only keeping this job and doing an absolute outstanding job, but now being a new mother and doing an even better job at that. I believe the board, and I can't believe this word's gonna come out of my mouth, but progressive, to allow a young lady, a mother, a wife, to be able to flex her schedule to not only serve this community, but also her family. So I would say, well,
We love our
It's the way of the world. It is. You're lucky to have her.
Okay.
remind you of somebody? Remind you of somebody?
Yes. Indeed.
Okay, anyone else? Okay.
The only other thing I have is to remind you that the last day to pay taxes, next Tuesday. I'll be in my office until 5 o'clock.
And she does take.
You may bring candy.
Yes. No, I was thinking candy, baked goods.
Prime rib.
Some Jameson, you know.
Jameson.
Little
But
bottles of Jameson.
that is the last day that
Avocado.
we thanks. And the credit union will accept taxes, so don't go to them on Wednesday. They'll send you right back here.
I have a couple things.
Sure.
We received our check. This is my, I know.
I think it's wonderful.
We received our reimbursement for our ADA compliance. We are going to pay some of it back though, because we had up to $10,000. So they gave us a $10,000 check, but I want to say it was only like 5,000 something. So we're going to have to give some back. But we did get it. Second thing I wanted to bring everybody's attention to is that the Richmond Community Schools is going to do another bond. They're going again for their bond in May, so there'll be another election just for Richmond Community Schools, Mr. Marker.
Just so you know.
Just so you know. Yep.
When the
So-
assessments coming out while we're talking?
Are
They're
you in
coming out.
Richmond?
I'm going to mail them out the 19th.
Yeah, I knew they were in the air.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're here.
They're being folded,
They're just not going.
almost as we
But
speak.
they're running another bond issue, huh?
Yes, they are. I think it's the same one that
The same
didn't
one.
I
pass.
hope they lose their ass a second time and the third and fourth.
I'm
That's
gonna,
only
no
my
comment, because
opinion.
we're on TV, but we'll talk later.
Yeah.
I am expecting to get a check from Richmond Community Schools to reimburse us for running that election last time for $4,805.44. So, just so residents know that if the school decides to do a millage or a bond or whatever, and there's no other election, they have to reimburse us for running that election. So anything that it costs the township to run it, they pay for it. And there's 5 communities that Richmond Community Schools are in: Casco, Columbus, Lenox, Richmond Township, City of Richmond. So they're paying, for the most part, about $5,000 to each of us. And that comes right out of whatever.
How sad is that?
Yeah, so this was, for November, we're gonna get almost $5,000, and then it'll be about the same for the May, so.
That we spent.
Yep, so, and I think that's all I got, yep.
Okay, I have a few things. We're having a park design meeting, the advisory council with our park planner tomorrow afternoon at 4 here. Our park planner will be joining us via Zoom. The annual road commission meeting is going to be 3/15, Tuesday, February 27th, up at the road commission. This is our annual meeting. The North Macomb Regional Chamber of Commerce breakfast is at 8 o'clock on March 16th over at Little Camille's. I gave you everybody, just notify them if you're planning to attend. And Congresswoman McLean put out a thing, it's for community project funding process. These are for communities that can put in for various infrastructure programs. There's 5 large culverts that the county engineers identified that are going to need replacement in the next several years. And I talked to the director of the road commission about us putting into it. And he says that their engineer's office would support us or give us that data so we could apply for this. So I'm going to look into it and do it. So, okay, that's it.
I do have one other thing. I wanted to talk about the landfill.
Oh.
So, and I don't know if you got my response, but I did respond to your email.
Okay.
So, backstory, when I was little, way back when, my parents were very active in fighting that landfill before it ever came through. And I remember going door to door in Macomb Township, talking to people, because those are the people, if they're the ones, it's not in their backyards, they're not gonna care. It's not gonna affect them, so, why would they care? And that there's a lot of people that feel that way. But it does affect us. Even though we're right next door to it, it affects us. The roads, the traffic, the smell, the weather, everything, it's all affected by that. So I am planning on going, I believe it's next Wednesday, at the Macomb County Administration Building. So I am planning on going there if all goes through well, I'm planning on going. I don't know what I can say, if I can say anything, but I will be going just to see. So you're not alone.
I'll go with you.
Okay, she's gonna go with me. Okay.
What time is it?
I'll have to look. I think it's is it at 11?
I don't think it's 9.
Is it? Oh yeah, I think you're right. 9
This is
a.m.
on Cummins?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come.
We've been there.
Maybe I'll come with you.
You were there. When you were like 7.
Okay,
Yeah, it was a little. Yeah.
nothing else?
You didn't go to school the next day either.
We're up for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay.